e-commerce Fastlane listeners, the holiday season is just around the corner, and now is the perfect time to level up your inventory planning. Now, you can join our 7-day inventory planning bootcamp and learn how to keep your stock optimized, your costs down, and your profits soaring, all just in 1 week. Now, each day you'll receive a quick, actionable email packed with expert tips and strategies to help you avoid stockouts, reduce excess inventory, and drive more sales. Now, it's designed to be simple and efficient. Now, each lesson takes less time than it is to finish your morning coffee. Now, during the bootcamp, you're going to gain valuable insights on assessing and analyzing your inventory performance, intelligent demand forecasting, strategies to reduce your excess stock, ordering inventory on a budget, evaluating technology solutions to inventory planning and management, and implementing a continuous improvement mindset. Now, are you ready to ensure that your store is stocked and prepared for the holidays? This bootcamp will equip you with the essential skills to set appropriate stock levels, to improve demand forecasting, and optimize your inventory management practices. You'll learn how to prevent cash from being tied up in excess stock while avoiding costly stockouts that can frustrate customers and impact your bottom line. Now, don't let the holiday rush catch you off guard. Take control of your inventory and set yourself up for success for a smooth and more profitable season. Now, this bootcamp is perfect for e-commerce entrepreneurs, especially those that are powered by Shopify who want to maximize their holiday sales potential while minimizing their inventory-related headaches. Now, you can sign up now at ecommercefastlane.com/inventory-planning. And you can start your journey to smarter inventory management today. And don't miss this opportunity to transform your inventory planning before the holiday rush.
You're listening to eCommerce Fastlane, the podcast show to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company powered by Shopify. Listen to real conversations with partners and subject matter experts as they share proven practical strategies, platforms, and the best Shopify apps to help you accelerate your business. The time is now for you to improve efficiencies, grow revenue, profit, and lifetime customer loyalty. Please welcome your host, startup founder and strategic advisor, Steve Hutt.
Well, hey there. Welcome back to eCommerce Fastlane. I'm your host, Steve Hutt, and today I'm thrilled to welcome Vikram Anreddy, who's the head of product for financial services at Shopify. Now, Vikram's journey in e-commerce and fintech technology really is quite inspiring. I kind of creeped on his LinkedIn profile and kind of see what he's up to. He really does have a keen eye for innovation and really a passion for really wanting to empower Shopify merchants. I really believe all of this kind of background really has played a pivotal role in how he's shaping this kind of Shopify financial services offerings that we're going to talk about today. I know under his guidance, Shopify really has made significant strides really in directly integrating kind of financial services tools now from right within the Shopify admin. I believe this product we're going to talk about today is called Shopify Finance, and it really is a centralized hub for merchants to manage all of their finances, both the products and the services that are available from Shopify. And I love the fact that it really just consolidates everything. Think about Shopify Capital and Shopify Credit and Shopify Balance, Shopify Tax, and there's so many things that are all available now from within a single, easy-to-access interface. I think that's why I wanted to have Vikram on today to chat more about this. I believe we're going to go off on a few tangents. I think one thing that's great about this conversation, I really feel that it's going to significantly impact about how Shopify brands are approaching their business finances. Instead of being these disparate systems out there, and they're amazing products. I mean, being a Shopify employee years ago, we're talking about capital or credit or balance or taxes. And there's so many parts of the Shopify ecosystem. The reality is now a lot of these parts now are being assembled from within a hub. And so whether you're a seasoned kind of Shopify merchant or you're just starting your journey, I really hope that you gain a lot of insights and you can leverage these financial tools that are now available from within your admin. So, hi, Vikram. Welcome to eCommerce Fastlane.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, my pleasure. One thing that's interesting that I find about a head of product, I call them product champions. It's interesting that there is a significant team typically that's behind a lot of this. So can you talk a little bit about kind of your role as being head of product for financial services, but then the powerful team that's behind you?
Yeah, Steve. First of all, I'm really excited to be here and talk about the launch of Shopify Finance. This product and experience has been years in the making and really would not have been possible without the efforts of so many folks across product, engineering, design, marketing, sales, legal, and treasury, and so many functions with so many people with different skill sets. And my job as the head of product is just to make sure we channel the best of these skill sets in building the best product for our merchants. And I believe that's what we've done with Shopify Finance.
Yeah, this is lovely. So let's talk a little bit about what drew you. I love to always set the stage about who my guest is and kind of what their superpowers are. But can you talk a bit about what initially drew you to the e-commerce industry? Because you clearly have a lot of fintech background. And now you're kind of joining them both together. So I'd just like to understand that journey.
Yeah. Steve, if you look at my LinkedIn, I have a bit of a random walk of a career.
Yeah.
For sure. But I started out as an engineer building wireless technology, spent a few years as a management consulting, solving business problems. And then for the past 8 years, I've been in product. And through all of these different stages of my career, I think there are two things that are common. One is I'm a builder at heart. And second is my brain loves to work on interesting, complex problems. And I've constantly chased new and interesting problems to work on. And I think that's the theme of my career. And for the last 8 years, as I've said, I've really built products for entrepreneurs and small businesses, whether those are products to find an audience on Instagram, products to help them make money as creators, or at Shopify, products to help manage their money so that they can have the best shot at business growth, right? And through all of I think I really enjoy building for entrepreneurs because in some ways it feels really good, right? At the end of the day, entrepreneurs are these humans who are trying to translate this dream and passion that they have around an idea and translate that to a business so that they can reach for financial independence. And entrepreneurship in itself is very hard. And being on their side and being on their team and helping them with that journey is really, really fulfilling and makes you feel good, frankly. And in some ways, that is at the core of why I'm working where I am in Shopify, because what better place to build for entrepreneurs than at Shopify?
Yeah, 100%. I feel exactly the same way. And that's the reason why I launched eCommerce Fastlane. Really, it was a digital brain of kind of all things commerce, but then it just morphed into this thing of saying, wow, we really can be impactful in understanding the products and services inside Shopify, but then also the partner ecosystem and how those can interact with a brand and their business and their growth, their maturities and their complexities and stuff like that. So it's pretty exciting. So today's main conversation today is really about Shopify Finance. And so I just would like to understand the genesis of that. Let's talk about the gaps in the market first. Like, what did you identify that, I guess, led to the development of this kind of centralized financial hub?
Yeah. Steve, if you step back, right, what are we trying to do at Shopify? We are in this relentless pursuit of breaking down barriers to entrepreneurship. We constantly talk to our merchants. We understand what are the challenges that they're facing, what are the friction in that journey. And our goal is to break down that friction so that we can marginally increase the probability of success for entrepreneurs so that they have the tools to grow their business, right? That is what we are trying to do, whether it's on financial services or outside financial services on Shopify, right? And that is exactly what motivated us to do what we are doing on financial services. Money is like a lifeblood of a commerce business, right? And managing it well gives commerce entrepreneurs the opportunity to seize that next growth opportunity, put that business on a growth trajectory. And a lot of merchants, when we talk to them, manage their money with traditional banks, right? And they face a ton of challenges. I can talk about 4 or 5 of them. Let me start with the most important one, is access. A lot of our merchants, especially the smaller ones, just can't access business banking services or credit or capital for their business, right? Now, at the end of the day, what that means is most of them basically end up leaning into their personal finances to fund their business. So access is one of the biggest challenges our merchants face. The second is friction. Even when merchants have access to banking services, the amount of pain that they have to go through to apply for loans, the amount of paperwork that they have to do, the lengthy time, wait times they have to wait for, and so on. It's a lot of friction in accessing these services. The third probably is essentially unfair terms. When merchants get a loan or a bank account, they're not getting the best APY. They end up having to provide personal guarantees. These services impact the personal credit scores and so on and so forth. Right? There's lots of hidden fees and complex things that merchants have to deal with as they interact with banks. And the last thing I will say is this. There are fintechs and banks that do provide some services for our merchants, but they're really not built for e-commerce merchants. E-commerce is a very interesting the business model, right? Our merchants products can go viral at times. Our merchants can scale up very quickly, right? There are extreme seasons like BFCM is a very spiky season of sales. And unfortunately, when most of these banks and fintechs build for the common SMB out there, and as a result, they don't perfectly tailor their products to these vagaries of an e-commerce business. We've heard so many stories of our merchants' credit cards getting declined when their ad campaigns that are performing well on Meta actually get stopped because the card pauses the spend. Similarly, merchants can't get access to buy that extra inventory to prepare for that BFCM season, right? So there's all of these challenges that make managing money really hard and overwhelming for our merchants. And that is why we built Shopify Finance. What we want to do with Shopify Finance, we want to build all the tools and bring them all into one place that a merchant needs to succeed, to manage the money and succeed and grow in their business. We offer just two value props. One, these tools will help you stretch your cash flows, make your money go further. That's number one. Number two is we want to save you time and make it much more easy to manage all your finances in one single place.
This is lovely. I know one thing that I've noticed too, and I'm jotting this down, is that when you think about a merchant and you think about how many hats they have to wear, and you think about that, a lot of them, they realize that some of these products are available to them, but they also feel that, there is a friction in getting involved with it. But sometimes they just, because they're wearing so many hats, a lot of it kind of goes to the wayside, where I find that when a tool, or in this case, a hub, is now available from within the admin, because I know that Shopify kind of tracks people logging in and understanding kind of like the user behavior. And obviously being a website owner or a marketer, you're typically in your admin a lot, like probably even more than email. You're really in there because you're working on the business. And knowing now that there is Shopify Finance and a dedicated hub in there, I think it's actually going to elevate a merchant now to be more like aware about the fact that these products, and we're going to talk about a few of them in a minute, but understanding that there's capital offers and credit offers available, and then we'll talk about balance. But it's nice that a lot of these things are all available now from within the admin. And I think making it top of mind, I think is going to make product adoption better for the merchant. They're actually going to use it because they're going to see it in there like every day. And then at least they're going to be exposed to it, that this opportunity is available to them.
That is exactly right, Steve. As you know, our merchants and business owners and entrepreneurs are extremely busy people, and they have so many things that they have to do on a daily basis. In some ways, that is the core essence of what we are trying to do at Shopify, right? We want to take care of things that don't need your attention and make it easy for you to take care of the most important things. And exactly going back to your point, right? Merchants will now be able to understand and get a quick glimpse of their finances just a one click away within the Shopify admin. Imagine merchants fulfilling orders, right? As they're fulfilling orders, they notice that their inventory is running low on a certain product. They can quickly check their cash position. And if they don't have enough cash, apply for a capital loan, get approved. The money will be in the bank in a couple of days, and they can go and place a purchase order for that inventory. All of this will work much more seamless. And in some ways, just having that access to financial insights right in the admin, a couple of clicks away, is going to fundamentally change the way merchants run their businesses, is what we believe.
So let's talk about some of these products that are actually in Shopify Finance in the hub. And you just mentioned a bit about Shopify Capital. And I understand that there's loans now, upwards of $2 million now without a lot of credit checks. And I think part of the value prop of Shopify is the fact that they have access to the data for the merchant, from store traffic to average order value and conversion rate and revenue trends. And there's a lot of kind of things going on in the background. And then having that intel that empowers Shopify to take an educated bet that they believe that, based on the industry they're involved in and the health of the business and the up and to the right kind of momentum, that all of a sudden there can be cash available. So can you talk a little bit about the thinking behind this approach, about the Shopify Capital offer? And I understand there's a couple different offers available about how Shopify Capital actually works.
Yeah. And Steve, if you step back, Shopify Capital was one of our first products in the financial services suite that we introduced back in 2016. Since then, it's really grown into becoming a rocket fuel for our merchants' growth. We've given out more than $5 billion in funding. Merchants love the flexibility it offers, and they keep coming back to taking more and more funding, right? And we've seen merchants start by taking a few $100s as the loan. They keep growing, and they've grown on the product, and they are now taking $1 million loans, right? And we see these stories again and again and again. And so we're really proud of what we've built with Shopify Capital. But to your question of how we generate the right offers to merchants at the right time, one of the core principles we have is that we should make these offers based on the merits of a merchant's business and nothing else. We do not do any credit checks on the entrepreneur. We do not impact their personal credit history in any way, no matter what happens to the loan, because we fundamentally believe that these loans should be offered based on business performance. And as you alluded to, we are in a fortunate place to understand e-commerce in general, right? We have Shopify powers about 10% of all e-commerce in the US, right? Second only to Amazon. So we have lots of data about e-commerce, what's trending, and so on. And more importantly, we also can observe and understand how individual merchants are performing. Everything from how engaged the entrepreneur is within the admin, to how traffic is trending to their stores, to how sales are happening, and so on, right? And that gives us a sense for what the future entails for a merchant, for example, right? And that is what we base our offers on, right? That's what we call in financial services underwriting. We basically present a tailored offer for capital or for credit, and in the future, more products. And merchants can take that loan, apply for that loan within the admin. In a few minutes, 80 to 90% of them will get approved instantly, and money is in their bank account in a couple of days, right? And if you compare this to any other bank, this process would take weeks with a lot of paperwork, and a lot of banks would require you to be in business for 2 years at least to even apply. Right. So this has been really transformative for our merchants. And that's why I say it's become the rocket fuel for our merchants' growth.
So just to kind of summarize that a little bit. So the Shopify Capital product really It just provides kind of quick access to funding. And you can think about, you mentioned already, about like inventory. It could be for marketing purposes. It could be headcount expansion. And then you don't have to worry about the traditional kind of credit checks and collateral requirements, which I think is quite interesting. I think that's the reason why it's been successful. Even when I was at Shopify with my book of merchants, I had many that were using the Capital product. And the nice thing about it was, there was no fixed kind of repayment term. Really, the repayments they took a percentage of sales. So as the business was growing or declining, depending on, the seasonality of it, a percentage of sales would go towards the cost of having access to that capital. I think it's quite powerful versus maybe, and I know there's always been a conversation around, is this a loan? Is this a cash advance? Is there an interest rate and all that? And so I think we probably can, another podcast to dig into the kind of like the financial specifics around how the capital offers work. A lot of the details will be now in the admin in 3 Shopify Finance Hub now, but the capital product is very powerful, and I know it works. So,
yeah. And thanks for summarizing the product for me, but it offers a level of flexibility that our merchants enjoy. And a couple of things that we are doing right now, which I'd love to talk about, is increasing that flexibility merchants, right? As you mentioned, Steve, Capital is a simple product right now. You get an advance or a loan of a certain amount at a fixed price, and just say a 5 or 10% price. And no matter whether you pay back fast or slow, that's the price. That is how the current product works. And we collect from daily sales. And what we are doing is we talk to merchants, and this product works really well for them, but not in all contexts. And this is why we are exploring, we are beginning to roll out new structures of the Capital product. One of them, for example, is our monthly cost loans. What these do is, instead of giving you a fixed price, the price is based on the number of months that the loan is outstanding. If you take money from us and you pay it back within a month, you'll only be charged for that 1 month. And if you take 3 months, for those 3 months, and so on. What this creates is a level of flexibility where merchants, if they really want a loan to bridge a small cash flow gap for a month, they can now access Capital. Previously, it would have been too expensive for those use cases. And second, it could also be because for merchants who are really growing fast and feel very confident that they would pay back the loan from their sales very quickly. Again, this is the structure that they should take. Again, we believe merchants need different loan structures and different pricing structures, and that is what we are trying to bring to the market to give them even more flexibility in terms of access to capital.
That's lovely. So now, from within the admin, you can see, based on the success of the business, here is the potential loan offer, and here's potentially a merchant cash advance offer, and then what the payment terms are, or in some cases an interest rate, and then a time frame that goes along with it. So there's giving some interesting flexibility in the admin, so the merchants informed can make a decision about how they want to get access to the capital, and then the repayment option.
That's right.
So then there's another product that's out there. It's also part of the Shopify Finance Hub, is the Shopify Credit. Can we talk a little bit about, because a lot of people don't even know what it is. And so I think we need to educate people now about what it is, and then see if it's something that could be implemented in their business.
Yeah, I'm really excited about our credit card offering. It's the newest product in our portfolio. The Shopify Credit is a credit card really built for e-commerce merchants, right? We use the capital underwriting model to give you the right credit limits anywhere between $1,000 per month to $100,000 per month. And I'm sure we expand these credit limits over time. And these credit limits will grow with your business, okay? And when you can again apply for this credit card and get it in a few minutes. Literally, we'll give you the virtual credit cards in minutes if you're eligible and apply. And when you spend with these credit cards, you can earn up to 3% cash back, okay, on expenses that only e-commerce merchants have, like buying B2B wholesale inventory, marketing and advertising on Facebook or Google, for example. And shipping, right? Again, this is the superpower we have. We focus specifically on e-commerce merchants, right? And build these products for them. And this is the product that we've had in market for the last year. But one of the new things that we're launching right now is flexibility in terms of how you repay the credit card. Merchants will now have up to 10 months to repay the credit card. Remember, you can repay the credit card at the end of the month on time for free, right? You can essentially use the product for free throughout if you wanted to. But you can also choose to pay over 10 months as a percentage of your daily sales, and there's going to be a fee for it. As you can imagine, this is really, really inspired by our Capital product and how merchants repay their Capital product. And there is no credit card like this in the market. And again, we've really leaned in and are trying to be very innovative to give this additional cash flow flexibility to our merchants. And honestly, I think this is the best credit card out there for e-commerce merchants.
The nice thing about that card too, because a lot of, let's say, for marketing purposes, a lot of times there has to be a credit card on file for TikTok or Meta or Google or other things, and then knowing that it has to be there, it's a no-brainer to apply for this. And number one, because you can pay off that card of, let's say, marketing, for example, from cash that's already in your Shopify payments account. And it's an easy kind of transfer from that to that. And then look at the selfish benefits too of earning, 3% cash back on eligible purchases on that card. That's pretty high for a points card to get a 3% cash back, right? So.
Yeah, and just to highlight, advertising with Meta, Google, and TikTok is the top spend that we see from merchants using the credit card right now. And the other interesting thing to point out with cashbacks is I always try to say our cashbacks are automatic. You don't have to do anything extra. At the end of the month, when you pay off your statement, that cashback is directly put into your credit statement, right? And into your credit account that gives you extra to spend. You don't have to lift your finger to do any of that. So this is what we are proud of. Again, we are always in the camp of helping merchants stretch that cash flow, help their money go further. And this is what we're trying to do with our credit product as well.
Now, the other product that I noticed in the admin too is Shopify Balance. And I know it's had some, I'm going to argue maybe it's some exciting upgrades. And I know specifically for Plus merchants, the Shopify Balance product is quite interesting. So can you talk a little bit about these new features? First of all, what Shopify Balance is, and then how they're designed maybe to support the kind of financial needs of a rapidly growing Shopify business, probably on Shopify Plus.
Yeah. Shopify Balance is our business banking solution, all right? It's a place where merchants can manage their money. It is so much better than any business bank account out there. But very quickly, it does a few things, right? Number one, you get much faster access to your Shopify store sales, the payouts, right? Number two is all your money in Shopify Balance earns a fairly compelling APY automatically. You don't have to put it in another account or in another sub-account or anything like that. Every single dollar in Balance will earn a very high APY. Number three is when you spend on the Balance card, you earn cash back and rewards. Again, you will never get anything like this on any business bank debit card. Right? So these are some highlights. And now we're really excited to see Shopify Balance grow up and serve bigger and more complex merchants like our Plus merchants, right? And this is the story that we see across all our products, right? A lot of our products start out by serving the smaller merchants. Those merchants grow on those products and push us to grow the product alongside them. And that is what is happening with Balance today. And right now, we are opening up Shopify Balance to Plus merchants. Plus merchants can earn up to 4.43% APY on all their money in Balance. They can get guaranteed next-day payouts, and many will get even same-day payouts on Shopify store sales. They will have very high daily transfer limits and ACH limits all the way up to $1 million to support this growing scale. And finally, they will also have access to rewards and benefits when they spend with the Balance prepaid card as well. So this is something that we are really excited to bring to Plus merchants. In some ways, a no-brainer way to manage your money where you make it on Shopify.
Yeah, because you think of like a business banking account typically where most merchants have, especially on the Plus side. It's not a tax-free savings account, and you're earning very poor daily interest typically on kind of this active account that you need to run the business. And so you're suggesting that through Shopify Balance, that Shopify in essence is the bank, but on top of that, money left in Shopify Balance in itself is actually earning money. So you have the flexibility of being able to pay off cards and then run the business by a central repository of cash. But then on top of that, whatever's left over or continues to be left over, then that is actually earning interest that's then like put back onto Shopify Balance. Am I right to assume that?
Exactly. And in some ways, we will optimize your money for you in some ways when you manage it with Balance. And one of the things I wanted to clarify, Shopify is definitely not a bank, right? But we work with a slew of partners from Stripe to Celtic Bank to Evolve and Fifth Third Bank and Web Bank to build these products for our merchants, right? And we are really proud to work with all of these partners.
Oh, that's lovely. Now let's talk about the integrate, because there's other things to do as a merchant. Part of it is great. There's a lot of cash coming in. You have some marketing and things going on, but there's also a lot of like bill payments, and I would argue maybe even some tax management kind of tasks that need to get done. And so, can we talk about how Shopify Finance Hub, how it's impacting a kind of a merchant's, maybe it's an administrative workload or less workload now, about how we're able to integrate paying of bills or managing their tax liabilities from within the admin?
Yeah. And let me take on these things one at a time. First on bill payment, right? Actually, merchants have a ton of workflows to manage their finances, right? Manage their bills, manage the sales tax. All of these is very complicated. First on managing bills, as merchants grow, they have lots of bills to pay and manage. And as they grow, they also start to get net terms and they get some leeway in when to pay those bills, right? With Shopify Bill Pay, which is a free tool, you can basically forward all your invoices to Shopify Bill Pay, and Bill Pay will automatically help you schedule those bill payments, right? And make sure you're paying all of your bills all the time on time. And in addition, Shopify Bill Pay also gives you access to any payment method you want to choose to pay those bills, even if your vendor does not accept those payment methods.
I see.
That's, again, a lot of flexibility in terms of how you pay your bills that Shopify Bill Pay offers. On sales tax is in some ways it's an enigma, right? Especially in the US, it can be so complicated. I believe there are 11,000 jurisdictions who impose different sales tax rules, and the sales tax rate can change product to product based on what is in the product. And I'll give you a classic example of this. One of my favorite stores in San Francisco is this chocolate store called Dandelion Chocolate, and the sales tax they have to collect on the bars of chocolate that they sell depends on the amount of sugar there is in that chocolate bar, and whether the chocolate bar is consumed in the store or is bought takeaway, because they also have a coffee shop alongside it. So these are the kinds of complexity that merchants have to manage with sales tax. So with Shopify Tax, what we help merchants do is automatically calculate which products they have to collect sales tax on and what dollar that they have to collect, automatically collect that sales tax dollars on every order. And with Shopify Balance, we also have a very interesting feature where merchants can choose to set that sales tax money aside in a separate account so that money is there at sales tax filing time. And this is a perfect example, Steve, of the deep integrations only we can enable at Shopify when you manage your money with us. Right. And we have so many examples of merchants who love this feature because it purely works like magic in some ways.
And then I have a lot of brands that I know of and that I've managed before, where they're currently using Avalara as their tax engine. A lot of it, I think, was because they were looking for, maybe back in the day, they were looking for a partner that says, hey, because there's so many jurisdictions and like, really down to the city and the county level, and the tax engine is quite interesting for it to run correctly. And so a lot of brands kind of made the choice, especially on the plus side, said, hey, we're going to pay a little bit extra and we're going to get into Avalara and have them use that solution. And then I think they even pay extra if you want Avalara to actually do the accounting and submit the appropriate money to the appropriate states and counties. And they had this kind of audit flow and payment options that they would fully manage. And so are you suggesting that maybe like all brands on Core and on Plus, that there's probably a more integrated opportunity now built in with Shopify Sales Tax because it works with all these other money products and we're not having to pay for a third-party connector, like Avalara, for example?
Steve, yes, and we work with a suite of partners to bring products like Shopify Tax to merchants, right? But again, you can access these products from one single place and have these interesting ways when you integrated ways to keep that sales tax money aside so that you have it for filing and so on. And remember, when you that sales tax money is also earning you APY when you have it in balance.
I see. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. So I've learned a ton. I've scrambled. I'm on page 2 of notes. Life of learning is my mantra. This is really exciting. Is there any kind of like closing thoughts or any kind of takeaways? Because you think there's people that have listened. It's like, okay, great. This Shopify Finance Hub is truly baked in now. It's in the admin. What are you kind of suggesting kind of as the next steps for people to want to get started so they can kind of like dive a little bit deeper into kind of the products and services that we've talked about today and like just kind of the next steps for those that are listening today?
Yeah, Steve, thank you so much. And this has been a fun conversation. I think a couple of things I would say. One is we are really excited to launch Shopify Finance. It brings together all the products that we've built over the years into one single place in the Shopify admin on the web, as well as the Shopify mobile app. I think the thing that I would ask our merchants to do or listening right now is to go check out your admin to see your Shopify Finance dashboard. Check out the offers you have. Hopefully, these offers are attractive enough to open an account with us, manage your money with us, and so on. And also, you can check out learn more about all our products at shopify.com/finance.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Very eye-opening. This is an incredible product, a group of products, suite of products. But now, I just think from a UX and from a CX perspective, it's nice that it's visually available now from within the admin. So, if anything, it's going to it educates a merchant that in fact these products and services are actually available. But then on the other side of it, it actually starts building business acumen, and it really helps even the smallest merchants saying, hey, you know what, I'm growing my business skills as an operator, and understanding the financial health of your business and knowing that there's capital products available. They have the credit product available with the Visa card. The balance is just incredible, and maybe in lieu of using the traditional banks, and now it's all from within the admin. So exciting launch. Congratulations to you and the team. And once again, thank you so much for recording today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Have a great afternoon. Well, that's it for today's episode. I'd like to thank you personally for being a loyal listener of eCommerce Fastlane. It's my hope that this podcast is offering you a ton of value through growth strategies, tactics, and exclusive insider tips on the best Shopify apps and marketing platforms, all with my personal goal to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company powered by Shopify. Thanks for investing some time today and listening to the show. I'm so proud and excited that you have a growth mindset and are a constant learner. I truly appreciate you and your entrepreneurial journey. Enjoy the rest of the week and keep thriving with Shopify.